So this PPT I have shared with you. Okay. So this is a very important part. So we have done till now that how to take a text pad or notepad or a browser, right? So then storing a data in a variable like we are doing in that example, and getting text and showing the output, right? But there is three things you have to be very careful, and that is what is variables. And second tab, if you see in your UiPath Studio, there is something called argument. So we'll discuss what is variable, what is arguments. Actually, variables, we know what is variable, right? So this is generic to star and exclamation mark. Okay, I
Excuse
will.
me, sir.
Uh,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, but actually, it's still. Can you please give explanation about variables? It's a request.
Yeah, well, we're going to teach variables expression today, for everything again in detail. That's why I told you it's a theoretic class about variable and arguments. Okay. So
एक्सक्यूज मी सर,
yes.
कल आपने सर एक फेक नेम वाला जो करने को कहा था,
हाँ बोलो क्या हुआ?
उसमें एक प्रॉब्लम आ रही है सर।
वो
जो
डिस्कस कर
डाइव
रहे
का
हैं।
पार्ट है डाइव स्पेन में, तो जी
मैंने बोलो बोलो, मैं मुझे पता है उसमें क्या एक नॉर्मल प्रॉब्लम है उसमें, उस वेबसाइट
वो डाइव वाले पार्ट का जो गेट टेक्स्ट का है वो नहीं ले रहा है,
में। हाँ।
आउटपुट नहीं दे पा रहा वहां पर,
हम्म,
क्योंकि वो वहां पे जब हम स्टार दे रहे हैं
हम्म,
तो वो वहां पे बॉडी वाला पार्ट हटा दे रहा है, तो वो
हम्म,
आउटपुट नहीं दे रहा वहां पर से।
ठीक है, उसको करेंगे, वो उसको आज इमेज ग्रैब करेंगे थोड़ा, 2-3 क्लास चले जाए। विल डी दैट फेक नेम जनरेटर का बहुत बड़ा एग्जांपल है, अराउंड क्लास नंबर 7 और 8। ठीक है, we'll see that, don't worry. So let's understand variables and arguments today. Variables and arguments are a very important part of any programs. Now someone has asked about asterisk and star. We'll discuss that. Okay, what is asterisk? So those are called wildcards. Okay, to make your selectors dynamic, those are called wildcards. We'll discuss about them. Okay, just go to. So first we are going to see what are the different type of variables, what is the properties of variables, and how what are the best practices of variables and type of variables in UiPath. Okay, so variables are containers. What you know that any programming language, variables are container used to store multiple types of data, right? So why a variable is required? So if you remember in your C programming, you write int a equal to 3, float a equal to 2.7. So a is a variable which is storing some kind of data or multiple kind of data. So if you make a as a array, okay, so it will store multiple values, right? So why does the variables make it easier to label and store data which can later be used throughout the automation process, right? The example we have seen in the get text example of the zodiac sign or IMDb, where we're storing the data in a generic variable or a string variable, and we are so using that to print the data in a message box. So it is makes easier label and store the data. Then it has initial values which may change during the program through external inputs, data manipulation or passing from one activity to another. Right, we know that. So if you assign int a equal to 3, that is the initial value. That now if I run that a through a particular application like y equal to ax plus c, so based on the value of x, based on the value of x, the parameter is going to change, right? So there is some initial value, right, and it may change through external inputs, data manipulation. So it is like a box that stores the data. So example, box is a variable name counter that tracks the number of times user clicked on an item, right? So or now, so properties of variable: first, name of the variable; second, type, what kind of variable, right? Third, value, what is the variable holds. So the 4 tabs whatever we see in the variable window, right? One is name, what is the type, value, what the value it holds, or scope. Just a second now. Okay, so we have a name. If you go to the variable window, we have a name, then we have a data type, what is the variable type, then value that variable holds throughout the process, then the scope, designates path where the program can be used, the local and global. As you see here, if you see, it is sequence or do, right? Whether it is inside the sequence or it is declared in the do portion, right? Sequence like open browser is inside the sequence. Now if you declare some variable near the open browser, it will be scope of will be this thing. Now example, last time we have taken that movie example from IMDb. Now suppose I will give the movie as an input, right? I will type or input, so that has to give before the open browser option. So then the scope become sequence. Now the get text activity, whatever we have taken. Now if we see that get text is inside the do part of the framework, now that means it is inside the do. So that become a local variable. Okay, right. Now, what are the base practice?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
So what is that type part? Can you please explain that? So type.
type is what? Int, float, whether it is an integer, whether it is a float, when float means rational number, or it is a string number or a boolean number.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Okay.
right. So best practices that you know, use clear and meaningful name, use camel case, right? Assign a name in a constant manner, keep variables names descriptive yet short. So number equal to num1, it's a number one, right? So that it is meaningful to understand, right? So the variable should be meaningful. Then different type of variables which are available in UiPaths. So what are the different type of variable? So first one is string, second one is boolean, third one is number, fourth one is date and time, this is data table, then generic value, queue item, and array. So this one we will see in detail during orchestrator, that is around last part of the class, what is queue item. So now one more thing, important information, that the UiPath Studio or the RPA automation mostly came from the .NET framework. Okay, so whatever the data types or variables supported by .NET, the same thing is also supported by UiPath.
So what is that data table generic value?
We're discussing it. I'm not skipping those things. Okay. Wait, we'll discuss every one in detail. Okay. So string variable. So string variable says users to store any kind of text sequence. So suppose I want to store my name. My name is Asvikar. So it has to be stored in a string rather than an integer, because it is not a number, rather than it is a text, right? So it is used to store the text, and we can use it, reuse it in specific action. Example, company name in an invoice. Now suppose you are doing an automation, right? Suppose there is a website, so you are doing an automation for a company. So the company has uh, is migrating from legacy system to digital platforms, right? So suppose the company is suppose 100 years old, so they have this hard coded documents from previous 50 years, right? Which has been just scanned and uploaded. Now you have to digitize that, right? So what you have to do that, so there is some invoices are there, purchase invoices in taxation firms, right? So, or payment informations are there. Previously, before the generation of internet and everything, like even if nowadays also, whenever you get Amazon delivery, you usually get a printed invoice, right? Which is actually not required, because that same thing available in your Amazon account. You can simply go and download that, right? But previously, whenever you go purchase something from market, they usually hand over with you a invoice copy, hard copy, right? A handwritten copy. Generally, the name of the company or the shop was printed on top of it, right? So now you are what, you are migrating the data to this thing. So you are going to fetch the invoice numbers and the company to which the payment has been done. So what you are doing now, you are grabbing the text from there, storing in a string variable, right? And that thing is later used in some place in Excel file or a database where it is stored, right? So company name in invoice, so variable name can be company name with a value, right? So XYZ Corporation, KIIT University, Robert Walls Company, UiPath Incorporation, so anything. Then next one is Boolean variable. So Boolean variable, as you know, is basically the logical variables which stores the type of data. One is either the data is true, right, or high, or one, or it can be false, that is, or low, or zero. You can name it anything: true, false, high, low, yes, no, 1 0, right? So Boolean, so it has only two values, right? It can only take two values, nothing else. Either it can take 0 or 1. So it is used with control statement to help determine the flow of the program. So if this, then what, that kind of thing. Example, true when the item is available, false when item is unavailable. So suppose same invoice data you are taking, right? Where, so suppose that invoice is something, so it is an old invoice, it was a typed invoice, right? Not a computer typed using the typewriter, it was typed. So you have just grabbed the text from that image, that there is one element and the price is available. So now you are storing the data, this is the name and this is the price, right? Now what will happen, now whatever there's some, you will see that in some invoice the price is not mentioned, right? Or the price, equipment is given as a donation. Sometimes what happens, now you purchased 50 items, company will give you another 2 items for free. But that 2 items they do not put money, but they will put this in the invoice and write it as a donation, right? So it is not there. So what you have to write, that you have to write that there it is not available, so it is false. For that, the price rate is not available, right? So Boolean variable that can take only two values, either true or false, or 0 and 1, or yes or no, whatever, only two variables.
So
Then
by calculation, can we use that this Boolean variable?
calculation means,
Like after performing some calculation, is it determined, or is it determined in a general manner?
पॉसिबल है भाई, पॉसिबल,
हाँ,
yeah,
पॉसिबल है.
possible.
मतलब कैलकुलेट करके है या जनरल वे में इसको डिटरमाइन करते हैं, वो मैं पूछ
दोनों
रहा
टाइप्स है.
हूँ. ओके, थैंक यू.
Next, number variable, numeric variable, it is well-known variable, right? You store the data of a number, right? So you are grabbing that IMDb rating. So we don't know whether it is this thing, but suppose I want to perform a addition operation, right? So I need to store the data as a numerical variable. So to execute equation, to perform comparison, pass important data, etc., right? Variable name can be item quantity, right? So the example you have given right now, the price, the invoice, whether the price is there, if the price is there, what is that price name? So that can be stored in a integer data format, right? So I'm just taking example of an invoice. So the equipment name can be stored as a string data, right? The price can be stored as an integer data. Now whether price available or not, right, that condition, that logic can be stored taken as a Boolean data, right? Similarly, we have date and time variable, right? So this is a this is little bit different than the regular variables what we have, right? So date and time variable stores information about any date and time, used to calculate number of days between two dates, store current date details, right? So same example, invoice. So usually we used to put date on invoices, because so suppose some equipment is under guarantee, then the date has to be there. From that date it is valid, the guarantee or warranty is valid. So that that value can be fetched and stored as a date and time variable. Okay. Then data table variable. So data table variables store tabular data in rows and column formats, or may hold large pieces of data and act as a database. So basically, so suppose you have an Excel file, right? You have an Excel file with multiple number of rows and columns, right? So how to store that? So use case used to migrate data from a database to another, extract information from a website and store it locally in a spreadsheet. That example we are discussing that. So there is multiple data in IMDb data frame, right? Now you extract those data like rating, year, right, name, people's reviews, right, number of time it got shared, number of time people watched that movie, right, male and female ratio, it is all there in a web page, right? So you extract all those data and you have to store in different columns. In those cases you cannot use for every data you cannot go and use a string or this. So as a whole you can extract them to a spreadsheet and store it as a data table variables. Now if you are familiar with Python, you know what is this variable. Someone can tell me in Python framework what it is called? Huh? Not audible.
Dictionary.
Data frame.
Data frames.
Data frame.
Data frames. Dictionary.
Yes, yes, sir.
Dictionary is the next one, the generic one.
जेनरिक वाला डिक्शनरी होता है तो
Yes, this is not the dictionary. This is data frame. Okay. Now dictionary is whatever you want, anytime you store it. That's not. So generic. So a variable which is very particular to generic value that can store.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat once again, sir, data table variable?
So now suppose you have to take a data from Excel website, multiple data, right? Last time we were only extracting, if you see the IMDb example, we have only extracting one variable, that is the rating. Now suppose I want to extract multiple variable and store in the Excel file, correct? I want to extract the year of the film, name of the film, user rating of the film, how many times that film being watched, what is the length of the film, all those data from the IMDb website, one web page, right? In those cases, all the data should be extracted and stored in a local Excel file or a spreadsheet, right? In those cases, rather than naming each variable, each data into a different variable, we can store whole data in a single variable, and that comes under a tabulation type variable that is called data table variables. Okay, so you can store the whole Excel file as a single data table variable. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, can we use it in that sunshine table data extraction?
Yes, but that you have to write multiple times that get text. Okay. So this is variable. Variables means we are extracting the data and storing them in a variable.
Sir, from a database, do we have to shift that all the number of data?
Why? If you want to, you want to send from a database to another database or what?
Another database or another any.
Yeah. That's what it's written. Na? You can do that.
So where can we shift that? Can you please give example?
So now suppose you are removing your local DBMS to a cloud DBMS. Okay, or a cloud database. Cloud means remote server. Now you take the data from there, extract the data, store in a data table variable, and post the data in the cloud server. right? Or you are extracting the data from your local Excel file, putting in your Google Sheet. Understand? So you have a Excel file and you want to put all the data, you want to take specific data from the Excel file and put in a Google Sheet, right? What you can do. That's what is example of a database.
Google search engine.
No. Google Sheet, you know, na? Google have this doc sheet, PPT, everything is there, na?
Okay.
Google Sheet is like Excel only, right? So suppose I have an Excel file which contains mark of all the students of a whole year. Okay. Now I don't want to upload my whole Excel sheet to website. I want only the name and the mark. So in that Excel sheet also contains different data, other data like section, registration number, those things I don't know. I want roll number and mark, right? And of not all the people, I want for some people who has backlog in the last semester, just example, right? That, and I want to copy it to my web browser or a web sheet or a Google sheet. So in those cases, so that the Excel one is my parent database, okay, and now my Google sheet is my secondary database. So I will copy, extract the data from my parent database, the required database, and post it into my Google sheet. So that's how you can do, right?
सर बट उसका रिवर्स पॉसिबल नहीं है ना, जैसे कि हम एक्सेल से ब्राउजर में पेस्ट कर सकते हैं बट ब्राउजर से शीट टेबल को डायरेक्ट कॉपी नहीं कर सकते ना।
मैं ब्राउजर बोल ही नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं गूगल शीट को बोल रहा हूँ।
सो गूगल शीट अवेलेबल है?
हाँ
सर क्योंकि उसमें सिर्फ फाइल और MS एक्सेल का एक्सटेंशन अवेलेबल था ऑप्शन।
नहीं, गूगल शीट में मैं एक्सटेंशन गूगल शीट का, अरे मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ।
यस सर,
I'm just giving you example, right? So there is other way. So from this Excel, I will create another Excel and upload it to Google Sheet. What the problem?
यस
That also I can do, na?
यस सर।
Just to show that how to migrate data from another one database to another, right?
यस
That's what I'm telling. गूगल शीट एक्चुअली है UiPath में, क्योंकि मैंने कभी किया था। क्या एक्सटेंशन है? थर्ड पार्टी एक्सटेंशन है, ओके, not exactly UiPath extension, there is a third party extension. Okay, then the next comes the generic
हैमबर्गर सिंबल बोला था, वो वाला क्या स्टार को बोलते हैं?
हैमबर्गर सिंबल। अच्छा, वो जो 3 सिंबल आता है ना कॉर्नर पे, उसको हैमबर्गर सिंबल बोलते हैं।
कौन?
सिलेक्टर का कॉर्नर पे ऐसे 3 सिंबल आता है ना, देखा ना? जस्ट एक सेकंड, ऐसे 3 सिंबल आता है ना सिलेक्टर,
हाँ अच्छा वो वाला,
दैट इज कॉल्ड हैमबर्गर मेनू। ऐसा करके आता है ना,
हाँ
दैट इज कॉल्ड,
क्लिक में आता है, फिर क्लिक में वो सब में आता है।
हाँ, दैट इज कॉल्ड हैमबर्गर मेनू। Okay, right. So next is generic value variables. Generic variables are a variable particular to UiPath. So this can store any type of data. It may be text, number, dates, and arrays. So now when you create a variable, right, by default pressing Control key, right, rather than making from the variable window, if you make from using Control K, you have seen that the variable which is created, it is generic value. It is not created as a string or text, integer or a data table, nothing. It is created as a generic value variables. So it is used to perform all kind of operation through other data types. Example, company name in invoice, item quantity, invoice date, list of all items in the invoice, right? So this can be used for anything. So basically the dictionary variable in Python, or if you call this one called factors in R programming, okay. Then Q item variables. So a variable particular to UiPath, so this is also a UiPath variable, stores an item extracted from a queue, okay, container of items used to input extracted items in other processes. So this queue item, we will discuss this one, we are not discussing right now, we will discuss in detail during orchestrator, right? So this is basically used for attending creating unattended robot automation processes, right? So now example, a particular invoice in the queue of invoices, right? So that example is, then you have images of multiple invoices, so from invoice number 1 to 100, right? Now I want to extract only from suppose 71 to 75. So that there I will extract using the queue item variable. We'll discuss that in using orchestrator. So park this one right now. We'll discuss much more detail about queue item in orchestrator. Okay, then comes the array. So array variable, you know that used to, yeah, let's wait. Yeah, so I have shared this thing with you. You can go Google Classroom and see that. Okay, I have shared this using extra day or day before yesterday. Day before yesterday I have shared this lecture 3. This is lecture 3. Okay, so I supposed to teach you yesterday, but I thought yesterday let's spend on browser. Then we can come back when we have a little hands-on on UiPath Studio or familiarization with the UiPath Studio framework, right? So array variable. So array variable is a collection of stores multiple elements on the same data type, right? So you know that. So suppose I want to define a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 in, right? So I will define using an array. So right. So used to organize data so that it is related to set of values, can be easily sorted or searched or indexed, right? So array is a common variable type to all programming language. Every programming language. So तुम्हारा जो MATLAB है, so you know MATLAB is a programming environment. So MATLAB is totally based on this array. Generic variables are literally slow. Okay, because it has to. So now what happens when you have system critical robots, there you cannot afford microsecond delays also. Okay, so what happens, generic variable, you put generic variable, that's okay, but it has to search in backend what kind of variable actually it is, whether it is a text, or so you have to run another code to identify whether it is a text or an integer. Okay, so if you remember, if you see this one now, this, so used to perform all the can store any type of text, number, dates and arrays, used to perform all the operation that can be performed through other data type. So what it is do, it is going to search through the other data type and then using in backend it is going to do. So basically generic variable is going to do whatever thing you need to do by yourself, rather than, so you know integer is a number, why not to assign it? So it is basically generic variable. If you have a system critical operation, it makes the process little slower. Okay, so that's why it is generally avoided. Now if you have don't know what kind of variable it is, then you use it, right? Now if you know what is the variable, rather than going for generic, better use what is that known variable, right? So array versus,
Sir,
yes.
sir, actually, in a generic variable part, how that operations are performed there.
Operations are performed there when that is a backend process. Are we going to .NET part or what? We are not going to .NET part of that one. That is
No,
a, yeah.
actually, sir, I'm from a chemical branch. That's
No,
why.
you don't require for that. No. Not required. You understand generic variable? It can store any type of variable.
That I understood generic variable,
That,
but
that
operation.
you don't need.
Okay.
It's a backend process. Why you are going to dig that in detail? So don't require that right now. Okay. So next is array and string. I think second year you must have get this question in C++, right? Very common question, 5 mark. Usually get, right? All those circuit branch students must have remembered this question. Correct. Array and string. So array is a sequential collection of elements of similar data type, whereas string is a sequence of single character represented as a single data type. Okay. So in array, if the elements are stored in a, so array is basically kya hai? So those who are from non-circuital branch, so I'll just explain you. So array basically, so suppose you think there are multiple boxes inside a big box. Okay, so suppose multiple boxes of inside a big box, right? So what will happen now? Array is basically. So have you seen the pill boxes where you used to keep medicine, right? So think that array as a pill box. So each pill box will take only medicine, so that is used to store medicine. Now you can store money, that is a different story, but it is only to used to store medicine in pill boxes. So array is basically same thing. So it has stored in a particular memory location or a box, small box. So suppose box A contains vitamins, box B contains vitamin B, box C contains vitamin C, box D contains zinc, right? Box A, this contains iron tablets, right? So basically that is array. So this is a sequential collection of elements of similar data types. Now, whereas a string is a sequence of single character or represented as a single data type, so it can be stored in any manner in memory location. So basically you bring a strip of medicine and put in a bag, right? That strip of medicine is a string, you can think of that, right? It can be stored anywhere. You take the strip and put in a bag, put in a box, put in your pocket, right? That's what string is. So array, it is a special variable that can hold more than one value at a time, but it is only, string is only going to hold character data, right? So array can store, so suppose I can create array of strings, okay, but I cannot create string of arrays, that is not possible, right? Or you can create array of numbers, okay, but whereas string is only for character data or text data or letters, not numbers, okay. Array is mutable, that means the fields can be modified, but string is not it is immutable, so the value cannot be changed in memory once it is created, right? In array the length is predefined. So suppose I am defining that I am going to create a array of 10 elements, so I am defining previously. But in string we are not going to define what is the length of the string, we can count later. So I am just defining name is a string. So suppose I run a program which is going to fetch name from an Excel file, right? From a name column. So name can be of any length, it can store in a string variable, okay. But I can get the age of the people and store in a single array, okay. So I will define age equal to row number 1 to row number 10, that I define. So it will fetch the age value corresponding to each people and store in a array variable. So the length is predefined, but the string, the size is not predefined. So it's a very common question. So now,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, can you please explain only that second and fourth point? Only second and fourth
यहाँ
point,
पर
sir.
ये चीज थर्ड पॉइंट में कहा आपने, स्ट्रिंग इट कैन होल्ड ओनली कैरेक्टर डाटा। तो स्ट्रिंग में तो हम किसी भी टाइप के डाटा को स्टोर करवा लेते हैं।
हाँ, बट बेसिकली कैरेक्टर नंबर नहीं काउंट होगा ना, दैट विल बी काउंटेड एज कैरेक्टर. You know what is you understand what is the difference between a character and a number? One can be character, one can be a number. If it is a character, if you do 1 plus 1, it will throw you an error. And if it is a number, if you do 1 plus 1, it will give you answer 2.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh.
Sir, can you please explain only that second and fourth point, sir?
So for second and fourth, second I told you. Now, so suppose, have you seen those letter boxes, small letter boxes, or what I can give you an example?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, where people used to, the postman used to come, put the letters of different people, right?
Yes, sir.
So think that each letter box is a memory location, right? So you can only put letters there, right? Letters is a single data type, okay. You can go only put letters in that box. You are not going to put parcel or anything in that box. So just small boxes where you can put letters. So that is what the elements are stored continuously in an increasing memory location. That means, so suppose I am defining, just a second, let me bring back that pen. Yeah, just a second, let me get my marker. now suppose, so this is A. So this is A is a array I am defining. So suppose now I will define, so this is A and it is going to take 10 number of variables, or 10 number, length is 10. The length is 10. Okay. So suppose this 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So something. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, right? Some, okay. So like that it is storing. So here I have stored some data, 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 right? So the elements, so suppose here I have stored some one number, here is another number, here another number, right? So that is what is all about your stored in a contiguously increasing in memory location. Okay. Then it can be stored in, so this is character, so this is character. So suppose is equal, just a second, some error happened to its tip. So suppose string is a S, so you are going to store your name. So your name is my name is SPK. So I can store in a single memory location. Okay. Whereas if I want to store this as an array, I have to store like this. So I have to store like this. S equal to, so S in one memory location, P is another memory location, and K is another memory location. Okay, so this is, so location number 1, this is location number 2, this is location number 3. Okay, so that's what is about your storing the data in an increasing number of memory location or a continuous memory location. Okay, now, so these fields can be modified, right? Once this, you can change, you can remove this character and put some other character. That can be done using a program, right? That is possible for any programming language, whether C, C++, UiPath, RPA, or Java, or Python, anything, right? But here, if I replace this one, this is not possible, first of all, and even if I do using some kind of string concatenation problem, the meaning of the whole string got changed. Okay, so that is the difference between mutable and immutable. Okay,
How meaning will be changed here?
so this is SPK, right? If I remove S, it becomes PK.
Okay.
S is storing my name, but here S, PK are three different elements. They are not storing my name. They are simply three different elements, S, P, and K. Understand?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay. So annotation close. Right. Now, variable panel. So this is your variable panel. So this is where you store your variables here. Correct. This is where you store your variables. Correct. So this is the name, variable type, name, variable type, scope, and what is the default value. Correct. Next is, so in step 1 here you have to define name. So click create variable, click define a name. Then from the drop down menu you have to choose. You have already seen this step during this thing. Okay, then we can define what is the default variable, then what is the scope, right? So we have not seen flowchart, we have seen sequences only, right? So scope can be sequence, or scope can be do, scope can be, if the program is in a flowchart format, then it can be a flowchart. Okay, right.
But in scope, there will be two types, na, local and global. How flowchart is coming here?
See, local and global in perspective of generic programming language. Okay, but in case of UiPath, right? In case of UiPath, the sequence, just a second, now let me share UiPath with you. UiPath visible, right? Huh? UiPath
Yes, sir.
visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sorry. So suppose here I define input dialog, right? Enter the name of the movie, correct? So here I'm defining one variable called name. Okay, so I'm storing this input in a variable called name. Now if you go to this variable, what is this name? So it's a string variable, and scope is which one? This one. What will be the scope? It is defined on top of everything. Sequence, right? Now if you go below, go to your this thing, get text. So here we are defining another variable called rating, correct? Right, here we are defining something called rating. So here the scope is do, which is inside the browser, right here, which is basically your local variable. Now this is the programming type we have used. This is the sequential programming type. There is another programming type which is also available called flowchart. Okay, we can create flowchart type programming environment also. Okay, we will go see later flowchart. Right now we are concentrate on the sequential type. Similarly, you can create also state machines. Okay, so we are now, so if it is a flowchart, then also if you declare anything on top of the flowchart, that will be nothing but your global variable. Or anything you define on the children of the flowchart will be local variable. Right, same thing in sequence. If you define anything at top of the sequence, it is going to the scope will be global. Right, now anything you define inside this do browser and do loop. So this is basically your void main operation. Okay, this is your main
So
operation.
sir, do we have to check with respect to open browser only, no?
Yes, because open browser is your main operation.
Okay.
Okay, right. So similarly, we have this thing. So PowerPoint variable visible. So demonstrate how to create, delete, initialize variable. So this is you have already done. Okay, there is nothing we do not have done this one. Right. So scope. The scope determines the container in which the variable is available. So a variable declared in any specific activity is available is only for the scope of that activity, right? The scope is chosen from the list of sequences in scope drop down menu in the variable. यहाँ से चूज करते हैं हम लोग, यहाँ पे क्लिक करके, ठीक है? So a variable declared for a parent activity is available for in the entire workflow. So basically the global variable, right? So a variable declared for a specific activity is only available for the only that activity, that is your local variable. Okay, so here we are calling as parents scope and children scope, right? Usually in C or Python we usually call it as local or global variable. Okay, now this is very important thing that is called arguments. Okay, so arguments are basically why it is important. So now let me go back to that UiPath. Right, UiPath is visible, right? So now if you, here you can see I have one sequence called imdb text, another is main.xml, right? So suppose in a particular process or a project I have created multiple sequences, right? Multiple sequences. So suppose I have created 4-5 sequences over here. Okay, now yeah, okay, okay. So now suppose I want to get a value from one process or one sequence, get another value from another sequence, do some operation on top of it, and show the output using the main sequence, that is main.xml. In those cases, the variables are not going to one, because the scope of variable is limited to the sequence where it is defined max. It is not going to be useful. So suppose I have used something in this is not this is not. So if you see the variables here, there is no variables called rating or name, where here we have variables called name and rating, right? Like rating and name, here we have variables. In main we do not have this, because they are not defined for the main activity, they are defined for the IMDb test sequence. So suppose I have multiple sequences in a simple process, right? Multiple sequences in a simple process, and we want to get the data from each sequence and do some operation and show the data show the output using the main.xml process. In those cases, the simple variables are not going to work. So for those cases, we need to use arguments. Okay, we need to use arguments. So arguments are used to pass the data from one workflow to another. So that means, so these are called workflows. This can be sequence, can be flowchart, can be a state machine, right? So these are called workflows. So these arguments are used to pass the data from one workflow to another. Okay. So basically ये क्या है? These arguments are basically friend of your friend, right? So you'll ask something that I don't have, but I know a person who might have, right? So he will ask, you'll ask your friend. So तुम्हारा दोस्त बोलेगा नहीं, मेरा मुझे नहीं पता, मेरा एक दोस्त को पता है वो चीज़ कहाँ पे मिलेगा, ठीक है? So basically वही है. So you are going to get the work done, but you do not part of the process directly. So you will ask someone who knows the process. Argument is that. So they are used to pass the data from one workflow to another, right? Inside a process, okay? Not outside, inside a process. So I'm not talking about that I have two different processes and I want to pass the data from one process to another process. No, I'm passing the data from one workflow or one sequential program from another workflow using a variable called, sorry, using an functionality called arguments. So what does this arguments do? They store the data dynamically. They enable users to reuse the projects, and they are very useful in automation projects with multiple workflows, right? So I'll tell you one example. So just a second. So this is not directly RPA automation. This is more generic engineering automation problem we are talking about. There is a virtual instrumentation software called LabVIEW, right? Might people heard of it, LabVIEW, right? So LabVIEW, in LabVIEW, what we do, so suppose I'm going to design a control system which is going to control multiple sensors, right? That is going to control multiple sensors and process those data and get me a output, right? So suppose I have three different sensors like light, light, humidity, and pressure sensor. I want to process those data, right, in individual level and get some kind of statement for my environment model or something. So where that what we do, so we take the when we program those part using a NI LabVIEW software, there what you do, we create subsystems, right? So one subsystem will get the data from pressure sensor, one subsystem will get the data from the temperature sensor, one will get the data from the light sensor, right? Then all this data will fed to a main process, and that main process will do the processing. The same thing is going to happen over here. So suppose you have multiple workflows, like one, that invoice example, let's take. So one workflow is extracting all the name of the invoice, in which name the invoice generated. So whether it came name from name of some John Doe came in the name of Jack Henry. Okay, so one process is extracting those names. So another process or another sequence is extracting the date. Okay, and date, another process is extracting the equipment name and the price, like that. Now they all are sending the data to main process to store that value in a Excel file in different columns. So name, what equipment he purchased, what is the price he has given, on what date he has purchased, right? So there are different processes. So this data is being extracted from an invoice. Okay, but all this process cannot pass the data directly to the main process. So they have to pass the data, right? Though they have to go and send the data as arguments. Okay, so arguments are used to store the data dynamically. They use enable users to reuse our products and useful for hyper automation projects with multiple workflows. So we'll see what
Sir?
yes.
So workflow means what?
Workflow means sequences that I show you na, in program or flow chart. Yeah, cheese. So this is a workflow, IMDb. So this is inside one program called demo, right? Demo 3/6/2017, right? Inside this process, there is multiple workflows. One workflow is this one, right? So suppose I have created different workflows. So I will create that what I want. So suppose I take this example. One is IMDb, another one is your Zodiac sign. So rather than making that Zodiac sign on main, I will create another sequence called Zodiac sign.xml here, right? Create a new sequence Zodiac sign, and what will happen once I run this program, it will take the data from Zodiac sign and it take the data from your IMDb and show me in the main. Okay, understand?
Sir, it will show both the data on the main.
See, if you run the file now, if you run individual file, then it will show the data. Now, if you simply do the running of the main, right?
Yes, sir.
Then it will only run the whatever there in the main. Okay.
Sir, IMDb.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
They're not following.
Huh?
They're not following work.
The voice is overlapping. Can you be a bit clear?
Could you explain again, sir?
कोई एक बंदा बोलो ना, 2-3 एक साथ बोलना उसका क्या?
So workflow समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
वर्कफ्लो क्या है? सीक्वेंस है ना, ये एक वर्कफ्लो है. ये क्या है? ये एक सीक्वेंस है, इसको वर्कफ्लो बोलते हैं. ठीक है. So suppose एक प्रोजेक्ट प्रोसेस के अंदर मल्टीपल सीक्वेंसेस क्रिएट किया गया है, तो मल्टीपल वर्कफ्लोज है.
तो वो से दिखाएगा.
हाँ,
बोले ना कि ज़ोडिएक साइन, अगर जैसे ज़ोडिएक साइन आया फिर में रेटिंग आया तो
अच्छा सुनो, अभी अगर मैं इसको सिंपल क्लिक किया तो कौन सा रन करेगा?
मेन फाइल
रन करेगा. करेक्ट. राइट.
यस.
It is going to run main only. It is not going to right. It is not going to run my other process. No, it is not going to run IMDb. No. Now suppose I have multiple files and the work of main is to showcase all the concise data. Okay. So example I given that मैं यहाँ से main से ये वाला पूरा विंडो हटा देता हूँ. ठीक है. और एक प्रोसेस क्रिएट कर देता हूँ जिसका नाम है zodiac.xml. The work of the and I want to run this file. I don't want to run file. I want to run this program. Right. Once I run the whole, it will run both the codes. Right. It will run both the codes. I want both the codes to run. Okay. IMDb as well as my Zodiac. Got it? IMDb as well as my Zodiac both has to run and show me the data. How to do that?
आर्गुमेंट्स यूज करके.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot do directly using.
No,
So
directly तो सिर्फ main run होगा ना.
yeah, if you don't, only the main will run. Now if the main contains information for both the processes, or sorry, both the sequences, then only it is going to show me the IMDb rating as well as my zodiac sign. Okay, so that is called a workflow. Okay, that is called a
So like whatever function we are taking inside the sequence, so are they workflow, that function?
that sequence is workflow. Okay,
With sequencer?
anything you create. So here you create one sequence called IMDb text.xml. That is a workflow.
Okay. Inside
suppose-
which we have to perform operation and function.
They are synonyms. They are same thing.
They're the same thing. The sequence or flowchart, whatever, that is just workflow, right? So basically क्या है, तुम ऑफिस में काम करते हो ना, एक सारा एक बंदा कोड लिखता है, दूसरा someone is write paper, what they go and arrange some documents, right? So they are different workflows, but at the end they contribute to the growth of the company, right? The same thing. Now, so different workflows, they interact with each other and give me a concise output, right? So when one workflow can pass on the value from its to another workflow, right? So suppose someone is doing library work and someone is doing the arranging, someone who is issuing the book in the library and someone arranging the book in the library. Now if they do not pass the data to each other, then the library will have malfunctioned. Understand? So how many books I have arranged and kept in the, so suppose there is 10 books on UI RPA automation. So the book who is giving the book, he has already sanctioned 8 books, right? But he has not told to the arranger that I have already sanctioned the 8 books. Okay, so arranger knows that he has arranged 10 books, so he do not have information that 8 book has already been issued. So then only then it become a mess, right? It is not going to work properly, right? Then they will have conflicts of interest. So that's the same thing. So to pass on, so that is where the argument will come to the picture. So there may be some kind of cataloging system that if 8 books has been gone, so there will be some parallel functionality will be there which will tell the arranger that okay, from your stock from 10 books 8 books has been gone, so you updated your database, only 2 book is available in the 2 books of your path is available, right? So that is what is your arguments do. So they maintain a flow of data from one process to another process or workflow. Okay.
Sir, is it helpful in minimizing error also or malfunction argument?
They are going to yeah, obviously you can say like that, but it is mostly for passing on the value of the variable, mostly used for that. Okay, so suppose I have multiple variables, right, in one workflow and multiple variable and another workflow, right? In those cases I can pass the data from one workflow to another workflow using arguments. Okay, so suppose just take example. So you have it's a very small example. You have taken 2 variable integer variable x equal to 30 and y equal to 40, right, in one sequence, right, in one sequence. In another sequence, what you are doing, you are performing multiplication of that two. Okay, so you are doing z equal to x into y, but in sequence 1 the variable is defined and the multiplication happened in sequence 2. Your example is you take the data x1 y from sequence 1, put in sequence 2, right, and get the result and show the output using the main.xml file, correct? So that passing of variable from one process to another process is going to be done through the argument functionality. Okay,
Sir, how will we do that?
Using arguments. So we'll see that examples, we'll see in the next class, don't worry. Okay, we'll see that example and we'll detail about how to pass on the arguments and everything. Okay, so basically a bridge hai. Argument is just a bridge between 2 sequences. Okay, 2 or multiple sequences, more than 1 sequences. Okay, so what are the different properties of argument? We are going to see how to give a name, which direction. So direction from or to right? So whether it is going from one sequence to another sequence or coming from one sequence to another sequence, so the direction has to be taken care of. In variable, we are seeing the type, whether it is string or boolean or anything important, or the scope is important. Here the direction is important.
Multiple directions can be given.
Yes, in and out also can be given. So a argument can be in or out. Okay. So it can be input or output.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll see that example. Don't worry. Okay. Then type, kind of data. The argument is intended to store value data that an argument holds. So what is the value of the data? What is that argument is holding? Right. That things are the main 4 properties. So argument panel. So if you go to UI path, near the variable, here is the variable, next is the argument, right? So here you can create an argument, you have to provide the direction. If you go to variable, here you are usually used to give the type, right? Here type, then scope, then default value. Here it is direction, argument type, and default value. Okay. So here you have to specify the argument is 3 types. Okay. Input, output, or input output, both, right? So if it is a input argument, you have to write, sorry, so this is mandatory, you remember this thing. So if it is input, you write int, you have to write in underscore the value. Okay. If it is out, you have to write out underscore the value. Okay. Now, if it is input and output both, then you have to write IO, input output underscore the. So this is how you are going to name the arguments. Variable you can name anything, but please remember this is a fixed nomenclature for your arguments. So this will define that this is an input argument. This will define this is an output argument. So this will define this is input and output argument, both the cases.
So what is the meaning of that input output here?
So if an argument is used for both the direction, by flow direction, right? So suppose there is 4 or 5 processes, right? So in 4 or 5 processes, there is some argument which is taking the data from one processes, right? Taking means input and giving the data to another process. That means output. So the same argument is useful as input as well as same argument is useful as the output, right? समझ में आया? टैप का वाटर, सॉरी जो टंकी का एग्जांपल है ये, वाटर टैंक, it takes the water.
हाँ, तो that is the input.
Yes, it takes the water from the earth, from the motor.
हाँ, तो
right?
input.
Yeah, input gives the water to us, to our tap. Output. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
सर थर्ड में क्या लिखा हुआ है सर?
IO, input out.
और sir, input output, what is that? Third one, example.
Water tank.
No, third one, sir.
Third one is IO, na?
हाँ. What does it perform? So does it perform like giving and taking both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either in the argument type it is given int 32. What is int 32? It should be only int, right?
No, 32 bit. 32 bit.
32 bit. Oh, it's a 32 bits.
By
so in the variable also we can give int 32, right?
Yeah. Argument. See, argument is a basically variable, but it is क्या है? This is like mediator, right? Argument is a mediator. Okay. So yes. It is a bridge variable, you can tell. So it is creating a bridge between 2 processes, right? Okay. Yes. So the argument type, it can be int. So by default, it is not only int in RPA. Everything is int 32. All the integer numeric data is stored as a 32-bit variable. Okay.
Yes. So we can just write int for integer mentioning, or we have to write integer 32.
It is there in the drop down. You don't have to write.
Okay.
It is there in the drop down menu. Okay. So this is what three type of arguments can do. In arguments can only be used to within the given workflow or take the input. Argument can only used to pass the data outside the given workflow. Okay, this can used both within and outside. So in and out सबसे safe है. Now if you do not able to understand whether it is I'm going to take a in variable or a out variable in some process, the safest way is to take it as a IO variable, IO argument. Okay, so in that case you don't have to be worried whether I'm going to give the variable or data or sorry argumented data or take the variable from the argument. Okay, so this one we are going to do next class, demonstrate how to pass argument between two workflows, display the sum of two numbers, right? So actually this doing this one, it takes 7 to 8 minutes max, but explaining this particular exercise will take me more than 40 minutes. Okay, so we'll do it the next class because I have a meeting at 4:30. I cannot do it today. So just to see the comparison, then we can wrap up for the day. Okay, so argument and variables. So argument stores the data and passes in between workflows, right? Or in between different sequences. Whereas variable stores the data and passes in between the activities or inside the sequences. Okay. So arguments, what we have discussed, it can be used across multiple workflows, whereas it is limited to one workflow where it is defined variable. Argument, it is create. So these are questions now. So you may not get a very entry level RPA job. So when you spend some time in corporate and you have done spend some your time in this what it is called, this RPA profile, then if you want to switch to larger companies on all these things, these are basically your interview questions on RP. Okay.
So in IT company, can it be asked?
No, see, for you people, they are not going to ask this thing directly. Okay. You are entry level तुमको कोई इतना inside इतना deep RPA नहीं पूछेगा. Basically, हाँ, do you know RPA? Understand what does it do? What is variable? What is argument? So nobody is going to ask you how the argument works, how the variable is work, what is input argument, output argument. So those are not very deeper. So in entry level, when you go now, they usually ask you from the basic programming level, right? So what is integer, what is float, what is pointers, arrays, right? Those kind of questions in IT. Okay. But once you go after 3-4 years, you pass 4-5 years in IT and you want to switch for a profile you like. So suppose you like the RPA profile. So you will go and search a company who has lot many jobs in RPA. So you are going to appear for the interview. In those interviews, they usually ask. So this question may be someone who has a little experience in RPA, but good to know actually. Rather than not knowing, it is better to have the knowledge. So basically arguments are, it is created and modified through argument panels. This is through variable panel, right? It is defined by properties, name, direction, type, and value. Here defined by name, type, scope, and what is the default value. So if a user does not assign a value to an argument, it does not have any default value, right? If a user does not assign a value to variable, it is automatically assigned a default value, which is generally 0. Okay. So these are the basic difference between argument and exercise, this thing. So this is the exercise you are going to do. It may be there in your self-study also, but in classroom we are going to do this exercise. Okay. Not today's class, we are going to do in the next class. Okay. So if you have doubt in arguments and variables, you can ask, or you can.
सर कल का एक डाउट था वो
हाँ पूछो.
वो गेट टेक्स्ट का मतलब एक्चुअल यूजेज कहाँ पे होता है? गेट टेक्स्ट एक्चुअली हम लोग यूज क्या मतलब किस चीज पे करते हैं? मतलब लाइक थियोरेटिकली अगर कब बोले तो मतलब उसका थ्योरी क्या होगा?
अच्छा, theory तो मतलब like it's not very theoretic, but the concept is like, suppose I have a so suppose I am to do some back engineering. Okay, you know, this Google Forms have very interesting PDF. So suppose I want to generate a CV.
Okay.
Okay, I want to generate a CV from an Excel file. Okay, I have data, all the data in Excel file. Okay. Uh, now you want to extract the data. So in CV you have different data, na? Name, address, right? So you want to extract that data and you want to put in a PDF generator and create a PDF out of it. Okay. So there, this get text will help you a lot. Okay.
एंड वो टाइप इनटू का
टाइप इनटू तो इनपुट है ना टाइप करने के लिए.
बस वही तो मैसेज बॉक्स और टाइप इनटू में डिफरेंस क्या है सर?
Message box में you don't have a grabbing option ना. Message box is just a printing.
अच्छा.
Just printf command.
अच्छा. और टाइप इनटू में बस इंडिकेट
you can give the user input ना. Sorry, you can give a predefined user input, like assign कर सकते हो तुम एक variable को, or you can grab the data from the screen, which you cannot do using message box. मैसेज बॉक्स यूज करके तुम एक प्रोसेस ओपन नहीं कर सकते हो. कैन यू डू इट? नो
नो नो नो जस्ट गिव ऑप्शंस टू दैट. मैसेज बॉक्स में टाइपिंग होता है.
हाँ
ठीक है.
तो फिर टाइप इनटू में भी तो वी कैन टाइप समथिंग ना एज कंपेयर टू मैसेज बॉक्स.
या यू कैन टाइप but it is not going to show you anything na. Message box is going to show you that value.
Okay, and type into like we can
something कोई सर्च बॉक्स में हम लोग टाइप कर सकते हैं, कोई चीज में टाइप कर सकते हैं. लेकिन
you have message box is independent process which is going to show you the pop-up, right?
but message box आने पे बैकग्राउंड हट जाता है, बैकग्राउंड में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा.
Type into is basically, suppose I want to type something in this notepad, right? I want to type this thing. That is type into. Message box is basically the pop-up window. Okay.
Like it will show only to us
So
message.
This is message box. Just a second, na? Just a second. Let me share. Just a second, na? So this is a type. I can type anything, right?
Yes.
Now, this is message box.
Okay, sir. No. Understood.
You understood? This is message
yes,
box.
I understood.
इसमें आउटपुट आएगा लेकिन टाइप इनटू में कोई आउटपुट नहीं दिखाने का है, बस लिखना होता है.
Yeah, exactly. Type into. This name is type into. Right. Open a process. Type into that. That's simple.
Understood, sir. If possible, can you please go back to 35 page?
Yes.
Sir, actually, sir, can you please explain only that first and third point by using some example, so it will become clear?
No, this will be shown to you as example. That's why I'm not explained in detail this one. Okay.
Third point also.
Everything. This total table will be shown as example. UI path example. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That's all. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Just a second. Let me share that. Then we can wrap for the day. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.